Doctor, we've lost her pulse.
She's in cardiac arrest. Start compression.
Charge 200. Clear.
Come on. Stay with us.
Doctor, we've lost her pulse.
She's in cardiac arrest. Start compression.
Charge 200. Clear.
Come on. Stay with us.
My story would begin with death, but it did. Good morning, beautiful Black women. Welcome to Monday Morning Rise. On December 10th, 2017, I took my last breath. At least according to the machines, a massive pulmonary embolism took me down swiftly. I went into cardiac arrest. I was clinically dead for 7 whole minutes. 7 minutes, that's all it took to bring my life to a full stop and to leave my body hanging between two worlds. I knew something wasn't right with me. I was so busy being a caregiver to both my mother, who had dementia, and my son, who had end-stage renal disease. So I ignored my symptoms, hoping that it would go away. It didn't. Ladies, it's so important that you take care of yourself, because if you go down, so does the entire ship. It was Thanksgiving 2017, and my family was coming into town for the holiday. I knew that I was seriously ill, but I said to myself, just let me get through Thanksgiving. By the evening, I was so sick, my best friend of 20 years took me to the emergency room. I was told that I would have a CAT scan. The doctor walked in and said,
"Hello, my name is Dr. Massey. I know why you are feeling so bad. You have a large mass that is 13 by 17 centimeters wide. Does cancer run in your family?"
Are you telling me that I have cancer? Was all I could muster up to say. It was all too much for me to process. I looked directly at him in tears, and he said,
"Miss Flatts, I don't know exactly what this is. I am referring you to see an oncologist as soon as possible."
At that point, I didn't know what to say. I was so upset, I didn't know what to do, so they released me and I went home. When I got home, I didn't want to alarm my children, so I didn't tell them everything the doctor had said to me. I went to my room and I sat up most of the night. The next day, everyone was heading back home. My children said, "Mommy, I hope you feel better." I spent the next few days praying to God that I didn't have cancer, because I knew what the outcome would be. I also prayed that if I have cancer, that God would give me endurance and peace of mind. I didn't want to be afraid of dying. I finally arrived at the oncologist's office, nervous and alone. The doctor looked at my CAT scan and said,
"Good afternoon, Miss Flatts. My name is Dr. Kane. I looked at your CAT scan. It doesn't look like cancer. I don't see any cells spreading to your nearby organs. I am not 100% sure. Once you have the surgery, I will do a biopsy to determine if it's malignant. I will have my nurse set up the schedule for surgery sometime next week."
By the end of the week, I was so sick. I called the doctor and she said, "Go to the main hospital." I had to leave my mom with my sick son. My daughter was driving up from Virginia so she could watch my mom while I had the surgery. My surgery was scheduled for Tuesday morning. I was admitted that Friday. Little did I know what was about to happen to me. I remember waking up and calling the nurse because I had difficulty breathing and my leg was swollen. The last thing I remember was seeing bright lights like in an operating room. I was rushed to surgery and apparently a large blood clot had formed within my pulmonary artery. At 3 p.m., I went into cardiac arrest. I was later told that once the heart stops, the brain begins to die after 4 minutes, and after 6 minutes, death is imminent. I died for 7 minutes and was in a coma for a week.
Your mom is very sick. She probably won't make it. You should start making final arrangements.
Not Mommy.
Imagine the doctor telling your adult children to give up and make funeral arrangements. But I had a praying family and friends. I called them my village. Noelle, who is part of my village, told the doctor,
"Let her be. She is resting. God is holding her for now."
I eventually woke up and I was able to talk and recognize people. I was on my road to recovery, but I was not ready for what was to come next. I had to learn how to swallow, hold a fork, and walk. My doctor walked in my room with a big smile.
Hello, Miss Flats. Do you know what happened to you? As doctors, we are trained for emergencies, and the percentage rate for a pulmonary embolism is 0%. No one is supposed to survive what you went through. You are my miracle patient.
That's when it finally hit me. If the doctor called it a miracle, then God had a hand in this. God held me for 7 minutes and he gave life back to me. Recovery was long and hard. I still have the after effects in this present day. After months of recovery, I was referred to a neurologist. He showed me an MRI image of my brain and told me that due to the lack of oxygen to my brain, I suffered some brain injury. The area of my brain affected controls memory, emotions, and spatial navigation, which I later found out that it stores and records information. Living with any type of brain injury is quite devastating. I was never told what to expect. I had headaches, anxiety, depression, and breathing problems. My voice was damaged due to the tubes placed in my throat. I often misspell words and have trouble with comprehension. I spent a lot of time in the house. I felt so out of place. The worst thing ever said to me was that I was using my disorder as a crutch. I was so tired of people telling me, oh, your memory is not that bad as you say it is. It made me feel like I was faking my condition. I was ashamed to talk about my condition. Then finally one day I realized if I didn't talk about how I was going to heal, I knew I had to share my experience with the world. So I decided to write a book titled 7 Minutes, The True Story of Me Dying and Living to Tell About It. It's available on Amazon Books by Teresa Flats. Now I am working on my new podcast, Black Women Monday Morning Rise, is a weekly empowerment platform and show designed to uplift, inspire, and motivate Black women, especially those 40 plus, to rise into purpose, power, and possibility, available on YouTube. Every day is a challenge for me, but I am learning how to accept the new me with God's help.
Ooh, yeah. It's your time to shine, girl. It's your Rise Challenge. Step into the light. Leave it behind. You're claiming your life. One step, one day, you're doing it right. Rise up, this is your time. Rise up, this is your time.
Today's Rise Challenge is simple but powerful. I want you to do one thing. Write down one reason you are still here. Not what people expect of you, not your responsibilities, but your reason. Is it your children, your healing, a dream you buried, or a calling you've been afraid to answer? When I came back, I realized something. God didn't bring me back just to exist. He brought me back to live with purpose. And the same is true for you. Take 5 minutes today and write it down. Say it out loud. Look at yourself in the mirror if you have to and declare, I'm still here for a reason. Repeat after me. I am still here. I still have purpose. My life still matters. And today I choose to rise. Before we close, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for listening to my story, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. I don't take it lightly that you chose to spend this time with me. If my story helped you in any way, if it gave you hope, strength, or even just a reminder to keep going, then it was worth sharing. And just like God wasn't done with me, he's not done with you either. So keep rising, keep believing, keep going. I'll see you next Monday right here on Monday Morning Rise, because we rise together.
Black Women's Monday Morning Rise. Every Monday 7 a.m. we rise. Protect your peace. Yeah, yeah.